kind of prepping the draft for beta readers. I'm like, I'm trying. But I sent it off to them. One was already in the document when I got out, so I was like, I gotta get out right now. Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new here, my name's Ray Rasmussen, and I am currently working on my hunting memoir. And I'm calling the point in this draft that I'm at draft 2.5, as I am kind of prepping the draft for beta readers. So I've been moving it from Scrivener to Google Docs, and so I've been having to reformat everything, fixing all the errors that Google Doc comes up with, or ignoring them because there's a lot of dialogue in my book that, you know, the person in themselves would say that even if the grammar doesn't sound right. So there's been a lot of that I've been having to fix or ignore as I go through. And anyways, I got to chapter 10 last night. I didn't actually read through chapter 10, but I got it into my Google Docs and reformatted it, fixed the errors, so now I want to read through it and then go on from there. I have 27 chapters, so I still have plenty to do. But before I jumped back into it today, I wanted to run some errands and keep myself accountable by doing this. So here I am. I actually just went into Joann's and did some shopping since they're doing their going out of business sale. And so I went in. I actually filmed this before that, but it didn't record or keep any of the audio because I was messing with my car, so I switched to my headphones. Anyways, I went in there and I actually got this really big basket. I did not need it. I went into the store looking for yarn because I have a blanket I need to make by Christmas. I mean, it's only March, but it takes me a while. The last one, it took me about a month, but I actually sat down and did it the whole time. I got like 5 different packages of colors. And I got green, I got 2 black, I got 2 of everything so that I have plenty of extra white and some other colors. I'll probably show you a better haul later, but I got a basket and it has a lid. I think I will actually use the basket as like a side table by my couch because that is where I usually crochet, is at the couch. So I think I'm going to set it there and then just be able to pull the yarn when I need it. So that will be pretty handy. The basket was pretty expensive, so I spent, one sec, where's the receipt? Jeez, $96.89. Expensive, but I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got 10 balls of yarn, and then I got the storage bin with the lid, and then I got the crochet hooks. So not a bad haul. Everything was either 20 or 25% off. I thought they were doing 50% off sale, but I guess not. And they were actually pretty empty, and I couldn't even get a cart, so I ended up using the basket to hold all my stuff. So that's kind of why I got it in the first place. And then I was like, actually, this will be really handy. I got that. However, I'm also going to do a couple other things before I head home to work on the draft. I'm going to run into Planet Fitness and do my workout for the day. I'll probably just run and do some, either get on the elliptical or the stair climber and then stretch. And then after that, I am going to go to Winco and get some groceries. I don't know how much you will see of this because I don't like filming in public. I did take a couple clips while I was in Joann's, but nothing fantastic. It is also raining and actually trying to snow outside, so that's lovely. So I am going to go back outside and to the rain/snow, get my workout in, run over to Winco, get some groceries for the week, and then we're gonna hit the draft hard. I'm hoping to at least get maybe 10 chapters done today. Probably not, since it's already 12 o'clock and I want to go to bed at a decent time tonight since it is Sunday, March 23rd. I also did not mention that. And I did finish draft 2 technically last weekend. I will probably link it above if you want to see it. Like I said, this is kind of draft 2.5 and I'm just going through fixing all the little stuff and prepping it for beta readers, and then I'll have them read it, and then I will probably read through it myself again and then make a revision plan for draft 3, and then I will work through draft 3. Finally making some progress. It's actually been nice to read through my book more consistently. This is the fastest I've read it so far. I mean, I've only read it like, what, 2 or 3 times? And with me doing that, the pacing is a lot better, I've noticed, than I thought it would be. It's actually getting to the point where it sounds kind of like a book. I think a lot of that has to do with all the edits I made in draft 2, obviously, you know, actually making it make sense and sound good. So I'm excited to see how it will keep getting better with the next few drafts. But anyways, I gotta stop procrastinating working out. Let's get to it.
Take
Okay guys, it is now Monday, March 24th. I figured I would just take you guys along for a few extra days since I didn't get much progress done yesterday, and since I just kind of actually want to do this all in one video where I just kind of get this draft 2.5 basically of what I'm calling it ready for my beta readers and sent off to them. So I think I'm just going to take you guys along for the next few days and maybe the weekend and do that. Maybe even take you along as I draft the email and actually send it off to them. We'll see. But yeah, it is now Monday. Did get a chapter or two done today already, and I'm hoping to at least get another one or two done tonight, and then just keep going like that for the rest of the week. I think I'm on chapter 13. Yes, I'm on chapter 13. I have 2.5 pages left to go of this chapter. I'll definitely get chapter 13 and 14 done tonight, since I only have a little bit left of 13 and 14. I don't think it's too long. And then that'll end us at part 2. Part 1 is the prologue to chapter 14, and then part 2 is chapter 15 to 27. So that would basically put us over halfway. Yeah, it'd put us right about the halfway point. Hopefully we can do that tonight. And then if I'm at least doing like a chapter or 2 a day, then I should be able to belt out the rest of the book by Friday or Saturday and get that sent off. And then I can do some other stuff by Sunday, because I do need to beta read for somebody else by the end of the month, which would be next Tuesday. So I need to get on top of that. I only got like 4 chapters in, and I forget how draining it is to beta read for somebody else. Like, it's not just like fun reading. I have to actually do some work too. Yeah, I have that to work on after this. So I want to try to be on a good timeline for this, but I also gave myself a deadline. I already told my beta readers March 31st, so I'm gonna have it to them by March 31st, which is next Tuesday. So yeah. And I didn't mention yet, I started running a list of like things that I am catching that I will need to fix in the next draft, but are too big to fix at the moment. I've been running a list with that for draft 3, and some things I caught were just like phrases I keep reusing. I might actually be able to fix that stuff before I send it over to my beta readers. But there's bigger things, like I feel like there's some scenes that could potentially be missing. Not to say that they have to be in here, but I feel like there's a lot of repetitive settings. So I would say I could add some more scenes with, you know, these different settings and not just the same few ones that I do in almost every story. I knew that going in to draft 2, there was a lot of chapters that started with us in the truck. So I tried to break that up when I went through draft 2, but I feel like there's still some other stuff that can be added. So I've been noting stuff kind of like that for draft 3 to work on, but I'm trying to fix all the little stuff in this draft. So I've been Googling little things here and there to make sure they're like either spelled right, or if something needs a dash in between it, like 200 yards, I was like, does that need dashes in between it? So I've been making sure I can fix the little inconsistencies so that I can read and actually focus on the things I want them to. So I've been working on that sort of thing. If I didn't already say that before, I don't know, maybe I'll cut all of this out, but I couldn't remember if I mentioned that yesterday. That is kind of what's going on at the moment, and I think I'm just gonna jump right into editing this chapter because I want to get some of it done before I have to make dinner, and it's already 6 o'clock. It's almost 6:30. My fiance is already hungry, so I do need to make dinner. So I think I'm gonna finish chapter 13, maybe start chapter 14, and then I need to go start dinner. And then I will probably do the rest of chapter 14 on the couch on my iPad, and then it'll be Tuesday. So then I'll work on it on Tuesday. Did not get up early this morning to work on it because I did not want to get up this morning. So I think I will work on it in the morning and potentially after work tomorrow. I'll probably go work out tomorrow, so I might not actually do much tomorrow. We'll just see how the week goes. Instead of me trying to guess, let's just, you know, cut to the next scene, you know?
Take some time to change your mind, I know. I wish I never let you go. If I took you for a top-down drive, just you and me and an empty road, maybe I can make it cross your mind. Jump back in, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? Oh, it might take some time to change your mind. Maybe everything we can make it right. This take me back in your
It is Tuesday afternoon. It is March 25th, and I actually had to sit outside and write for once. It's the first time since my very first vlog where I filmed outside at the park, and so I got to chill outside and got another chapter done. So now I'm on chapter 20. I did a couple today, so I'm on chapter 20. I'm gonna make dinner and then sit on the couch and work on my book again on my iPad, and then I'll probably just check in with you guys again tomorrow. Maybe, depends on if I go to the gym or not. I decided not to go today because I wanted to enjoy nice weather. It's literally 70 degrees outside, where it was when I got home. But anyways, I am gonna go make dinner and stuff, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so it is now Friday, March 28th. I have gotten through to chapter 22, so now I'm going to start reading chapter 23. That means I have 5 chapters left, so I have 23 to 27 left to go. I did read a couple more chapters the last couple days, but I just kind of had to take a little bit of a break, so I just kind of did that in my own time, and now I'm going to go back at it. It is 11 a.m. I did work on editing the vlog from, not last week, it'd be 2 weekends ago, of me actually finishing the second draft, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can. But anyways, I was working on editing that video this morning. I am going to just start jumping right into the chapter and reading. I want to get it all done today. It shouldn't be hard to read 5 chapters. My fiance is gone for the weekend again for a disc golf tournament out of town, so I have time all weekend to work on it. But I'm gonna have a girls' day on Sunday. We're gonna go get brunch and then go shopping, and then I'll probably maybe go work out and then get my groceries for the week on Sunday, and then I'll have to reset, and then I do need a beta read for someone, so I kind of want to work on that on Sunday as well. So I'm hoping to have this sent out by tomorrow, but if I can do it today, it'll be even awesomer. So that's not a word, but I would love for it to be done today and sent out, but my main goal is to just have it done by tomorrow if possible. I think I am going to read through the 5 chapters. I did note some things that need to be worked on a little bit, so I have time to kind of tweak a little few things, but I don't want to go too ham because this isn't a full actual draft. It's draft 2.5, so I'm just trying to fix the little stuff that the beta readers might get hung up on while they're reading. So I'm trying to fix that little stuff first, but there's a few things in chapter, I think 21, that there's like a whole section that is kind of missing, so I want to add some dialogue in there, fix that, and then make sure and check a couple overall things again, kind of just quickly scan through it, not actually read through the whole draft again. I'm not reading it twice. Anyways, that's kind of the breakdown of what I want to do. So I hope to finish the 5 chapters today and then start going through the other little stuff I want to get through, work on chapter 21, and then draft the email to my beta readers, and then make sure the beta reader feedback sheet I made is up to par. I think I want to go through and check all of my notes that I left in for each chapter in this notebook and see if there's anything else I want to add to the beta reader feedback sheet that I made, that all together and sent off to them. They are family members, so I'm very grateful for it, and the fact that I didn't have to pay for them, and I am very excited to see what they say, but I'm also very, 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 very nervous, so we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to decide if I should make personalized emails for all 3 of them, or just kind of a general one. I'll probably definitely for my mom, because I know she'll be looking at specific things compared to they will, because she's used to my writing and stuff. Anyways, that's kind of the plan. Just work through each part of that. So I'm gonna start reading chapter 23 and then kind of just give you updates throughout the day, and then tomorrow too if I don't finish it today. So let's get to reading. And I will probably also, if I have too much of a hard time reading it on my computer, I will move back over to my iPad. I think I'm gonna try to stay on the computer so I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. That's just something else I can do if I have a hard time sitting here and reading it, or if it's just gonna be easier and flow easier if I just read through it. Sorry, I'm just babbling on now at this point, but that's kind of the plan for the day / weekend, and I'm just really hoping I can get this sent off as soon as possible, but as well as possible, because I want my book to be good, even though it's still only draft 2. But you know, you gotta battle with that, where you want it to be good but you can't overwork it, because I mean, it's still pretty familiar. I just finished the draft. I still need to step away from it, so I have to be careful with that. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. But that is everything for the moment. I will update you in a little bit. Okay.
would you let me on? It might take some time to change your mind. Maybe everything we can make it right. Just take me back in your eyes, blinking at me like a caution light. I wonder if you see it. I don't really need a single other reason to make you mine.
Alright, it is now 7:30 and I finished the read through about 5 o'clock, I believe, and then did some deep cleaning around the house, gave my dog a good brush and washed her in the bath. She looks like a new dog. She actually looks white now. And then now I vacuumed and shampooed the carpet, had to clean the bathroom after I washed her up, did some dishes, and then I took the trash out. So yeah, I've been very busy. I took a moment, stepped away from the draft and did that stuff. There's a couple small things I still want to do before I send this draft off to the beta readers. I want to add a little chunk at the end of the very last chapter. I think I do a really good job of summing up the book overall. Like, it still brought me to tears again. It's really great, but I feel like the hunt in itself doesn't tie Dad back in at the end, and so I want to just add a little paragraph about that to, you know, circle it all up, because this story is about both of us. It's Adventures of an Outfitter's Daughter, yes, which is me, but he's also the outfitter. So I want to do that at the end to help kind of bring it all around. And then there was a couple other small things I've noted along the way. There was a couple chapters in the middle that need to be a lot more active, and then I feel like I have to make sure that I introduce a couple characters. I need to go through and make sure that they're actually introduced at some point, and then there isn't like a big lowdown of what camp is like, so I might try to add that. I don't know if I'll do it with this before I send it to them, but I just noted a lot of things while I did this read through to come back to with the next full revision. I just couldn't not make notes because there was things that have come up that I'm like, this needs to be done, this needs to be added, this needs to be added. Oh, this could be a lot more active. It's just really hard because I'm like trying to tell these stories, but I'm also not trying to tell every single little detail. So I just have to find a good balance with certain things. But when I read it overall, the pacing's not really that bad. It's just there's still some little chunks here and there that could definitely have either a little bit more information, a little more active voice, or a little more action, a little more dialogue. So I just need to work on that in the next draft. And then another thing that I've noticed that I'm going to have to make a dog timeline and then just sit down with my dad and hash it out. Because just asking him questions, he's like, I don't know, they were 7 or 8 at the time, maybe. I'm like, this is not helpful. I think while I'm waiting for the feedback from beta readers, I'm going to write down each dog that I mentioned in this book and the year that it is mentioned in the hunt, and then just sit down with my dad and be like, is this what happened? Were they there? Were they actually there? How old were they? Because I just want that to be consistent. Because it might seem like a simple thing, but it's not, because hounds are very important. I just want to make sure I have that right in this book. So that's another thing I have noticed that I want to fix up. It's just been hard because my dad is just not a very talkative person. It's not very helpful sometimes. So I'm like, I just gotta fucking figure it out, bro. And I'm like, I'm trying. Anyways, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not. I think I did in an earlier clip when I first was reading through, because the first few chapters especially, there was a few phrases that I used over and over again, and they did pop up, and there was a couple of them I did tweak to make sure they didn't pop up again. Like when I went from like a really tense situation to finally relaxing, like I literally talked about how my shoulders dropped from my ears, because my shoulders do that, but it doesn't need to be in the book 10 times. So there's stuff like that I need to work through and cut out. If I had time, I might just do it. I mean, I have all weekend to work on this, but I do want to send it out tomorrow. So I think I'm going to tweak a few things tonight and then take a step back again and then come back to it in the morning, fix any other little things that I will have on a list, tweak them up, and then in the morning fix those things, fix up the beta reader feedback sheet by going through my chapters and see if there's any additional notes I want to add to it, and then draft the email and send it all off together. So exciting. For a moment there, I was like, I'm going to get it all done today. Then I took a step back. I'm like, I don't want to rush myself. It's not necessarily that I'd be rushing myself, but I didn't want to burn myself out either. So I took a step back and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some cleaning. I'm going to clean the dog up. She looks very clean. She's chilling over here. Well, I might show you a little peek of her because she looks very fresh. So yeah, I took a step back and I was like, I just need to take a break so I don't just kill myself on this story, and because I feel like I won't be editing as well if I do that. So I took a step back, and I think I'm gonna tweak as much as I can tonight, take a step back, do some video editing again, because that burnt me out this morning. It hurts my hand, the constant command B, cut, command B, cut, because there's a lot of parts that I have to cut out of my videos because I'm like, but, so anyways, those are my big things. I'm like, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out, or just big long pauses, or I just stumble over words and then I have to stop, re-say the sentence, and start all over. Anyways, I'm going off track, obviously. I am going to end this here. I might do a little check-in later once I finish up whatever I have left tonight. And I just kind of wanted to do this before it was completely dark outside, but it's pretty much dark and isn't really helping the lighting, so that's that. I'm just going to show you a little clip of Mina. I'm going to get to this and then I'll probably update you tonight or in the morning. And then we're going to send this off to beta readers. All right? All right. Sounds good.
What are you doing? Is that pretty girls? You pretty girls? She don't care. She just wants to look outside.
Okay guys, it is now Saturday and it is almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, it took me a while to get to my desk today. However, I got some things done. I went and worked out, came home, showered, ate lunch, and then got ready for the day. I just wanted to give a little update before I jump right back into the draft. I did in fact write that scene that I wanted to for the last chapter last night. I feel like it pulled it together a lot better, so that was really nice. I'm really happy with that end chapter, but there's still a few other chapters that definitely need work. I think I'm gonna work on 21 today, and then I think my other focuses are figuring out if every character has a clear intro in this book, has some sort of description, and you know who they are in relation to Dad or I. And then I want to work through and maybe check the dogs as well. I don't want to do the timeline right now because I'm not trying to do a bunch of work before I send this to beta readers. This is still draft 2. I can't be doing everything right this second. I'm gonna do that. And then I did go through those crutch words last night, but I had to stop. I did just, and then the shoulders thing, and then I think there was one other one I don't remember. I did that. That stuff wasn't too bad, but then I searched as, and it is like 800 of them. And I only went through one chapter last night. It got down to like 765. I don't think it was exactly 800, but I took a big chunk of them and I only got through chapter 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a serious need to go through. But you know, most people work on this in like draft 4 or 5 or whatever when they actually do line editing and stuff. Or is it line editing? I don't know. When you actually search all your crutch words in a later draft. I was just trying to see if I could clean up my writing as much as possible before I send to my beta readers, but like I said, this is only draft 2, so I have to tell myself to calm down. So I think I'm just going to leave chapter 1 as done with that, and then I'll go through the rest of them in a different draft. I just want to make sure that I write it down, that this is a word I need to work through. And honestly, I just was a lot better. There was like 200 and I got it down to like 160. It's just the way that my voice is in this book. I use just quite a bit, like in my internal monologue, so I can't cut all of that sort of stuff out, but with the normal sentences and action and stuff, I went through and made sure to clean some of those up. I just, you know, trying to be proactive with certain things that the beta readers might come up with that might drag them away from the story in itself, and that's what I want them to focus on. So I did that stuff. I'm going to sit down here. I think I'm gonna go, I should go and write that scene that I need to add into chapter 21, but I really don't want to, obviously, because I was doing crutch words instead. But I did write that scene last night, so I can't be too mad at myself. However, I need to figure out what I want to do first. I think I'm going to go through the characters, and then I'm going to go back and fix that scene, and then maybe go through the dogs, and then maybe just scroll through the document a couple times and make sure there's no other errors that Google Docs has come up with. I think I will call it good at that point. Fix up the beta reader feedback sheet like I mentioned last night, and then draft the email. I do have one guy looking at it, and he's actually in the story. I just wanted that eye of a guy looking at this story, and the fact that that's going to be the biggest audience is a guys that hunt. I really do want to push this for girls as well, because there's not a lot of diversity in the market at this point, so I do want to push that, but I do have to recognize guys are still the majority at this point, so I want to get that point of the audience to read this. So I'm going to have him check it out, and I know there's certain terminology he might catch that I did not add or shouldn't be in certain parts, or might have clues into certain dialogue that maybe should be added, or things that he might remember from certain stories that I don't, or things that might seem too mean. I want them to check on that sort of stuff too, because I'm very straightforward sometimes, and that is my biggest worry when I am giving it to these 3 beta readers. They're all actually family members, and they're all in the story, so I don't want them to take offense to anything, so that does make me nervous. When I went through this read through, I don't think there was anything serious that would be like, yeah, you shouldn't shouldn't have this here and that's just mean and I'm not finishing this draft. It's nothing like that. There's just little things where like I'm very to the point, so I do worry about that a little bit. I'm just gonna push through and send it to them anyways and just make sure that that email in itself is explanatory of what I want from their read through. And I did mention in my feedback sheet at the top that I was like, I really appreciate you doing this. It is very awesome of you to do so. I do want to focus more on the developmental stuff, so all the overarching, is the plot, the overarching theme, are the characters well thought out, are you getting the internal and external conflict that's going on, and all that sort of thing. But then I also mentioned, especially if their feedback is very useful for me, and I'm sure it's going to be, that I think I'm gonna, like most people do, you thank the people in your book and your acknowledgements. So I think I will add them in there, especially if they're going to do more than one read through for me, because a lot of people have more than one read through, because especially at this point I'm only on draft 2.5 as I'm calling it, so I'll need more eyes on it. And the one, my mom will definitely be reading this more because I will make her. But she's my most trusted person because she knows my writing, she knows everybody in the story, and she's a very good writer in herself. She's a lot better at all the grammar and stuff, and I'm not quite so much. So I like that view that she can give me. Yeah, I'm just kind of rattling on instead of actually working on this. So I think I'm gonna pause here, work on it, and then give you an update in a little bit when I actually get some things done. And then I'm hoping to get some good shots of me actually sending the emails. So we'll do that. Mina is right here. She wants to say hi. Do you need to go outside or something? Yeah. You say hi? You said hi to the video? She said, no, Mom, take me out right now. Do you need to eat? Yes. Okay. I will talk to you guys in a little bit and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, so I just attended a live with Oh My Jordy and Sierra, and I fixed the last couple things I wanted to and then wrote that scene. Still pretty bare bones, but I'll just fix that in the next draft. I just kind of hit the point where I'm kind of getting a little burnt out. I spent so much time on this yesterday, and then I started working on editing a video. I think I'm just really wanting to go back to the video and work on it, so I'm having a hard time focusing, but I want this sent out tonight. So I just took a step back, fixed the things I wanted to, fixed a table of contents because I tweaked some of the titles and I had added the page numbers because I didn't have them in there. Then I went and wrote a little bit for the acknowledgements, basically wrote a paragraph of some of the things that I wanted to thank for, and then added in like brackets what I needed to add later on as I actually have more people to thank. And then I did the copyrights page. I made sure to be like, this is a work of creative nonfiction. It is not meant to offend anyone, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's all kind of wrapped up. I'm going to now work on the beta reader feedback sheet and then draft the email, make sure everything's good, and send it off. So yay! I'm just gonna get to work and then I'll update you in a few. Okay, before the sun fades too much, I figured I'd give you a little update since I'm officially done. I sent the draft off to them. I did have a little mix up and sent them my copy instead of the beta reader copy, so I'd resend those out, but I sent it off to them. One was already in the document when I got out, so I was like, I gotta get out right now. So I'm very thankful for them, and I'm really excited to see their feedback. If I feel good about it, I'll probably share maybe some comments and their feedback in a later video, and just the beta reader feedback, my revision plan, and my checklist for draft 3. That will probably be another video I will do right before I start draft 3. I do plan on taking the next couple weeks off. We'll see how much I actually take off. I might do a little challenge challenge and try to do like a couple like short story prompts and maybe do that while I'm drinking or something fun, kind of like other YouTubers have done in the past. So I might try that and just do a couple of little things along the way, read my book comps, do some crocheting, and do some more video editing, of course. So I think that's kind of everything for the moment. I'm just very excited for everything to be done and out of my hands. It's still very nerve-wracking. I'm like, please don't judge me too much. This is a very, very early draft. I made sure to put draft 2.5. You know, it's not great, but it is good. So we'll see what their comments are here to come. It is Saturday, so I mean, they could get through a pretty good chunk of the book by tomorrow if they really wanted to. But I mean, everybody has lives, so I just want the feedback by the end of April. So, you know, a little over a month. So there's plenty of time for them to all go through it. And yeah, so that's exciting. I am just very glad that I got to a point where I got it done. And I told them the 31st of March, and it is, what, the 27th? No, it's the 29th, so 2 days early. I had to do mental math for 2 days. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it is 2 days early to them, which means I need to move my little sticky note up here that says send draft 2 to beta readers. I put April 20th on there as my like bar out goal, but I had told them March 31st, so I did it. I can move that over, and then I need to set up some new goals now that that's done. So I think my next goal will probably be creating a revision checklist for draft 3 and compiling their notes into probably a form as well to check off as I go through the next draft. So yay. I was having a very hard time today like focusing, and I think the fact is that I was doing so much in it yesterday, and I think I was just trying to do too much shoved in this draft because I'm like so nervous for them to be reading my work and then being like, this is kind of trash. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. I'm still working on it. I still need to strengthen up my prose. There's a lot of grammar and, you know, spell check stuff to go through. Not spell check, but more line editing to be done. I'm really bad about commas. I'm bad about comma splicing, so I think that's one thing I will definitely have to work on in later drafts. However, I just felt like I was trying to get it all done and like making it as perfect as possible because I'm like, I have all this time to do it. And I'm like, no, Rhea, chill, get what you wanted done, everything that needs to be done for this draft, send it off to them, then make a checklist of all those other things you want to fix so we can focus on that later. What I did finally, attending that live really helped. I didn't really get any film of me working while during the live, but I joined them. It was really fun. And yeah, that's kind of everything for the moment. I appreciate you stopping by on my channel and watching. Feel free to subscribe or like, and if you have any questions about my process for compiling this draft for beta readers, my feedback form, or just any questions in general about my process, my book, or me, feel free to leave it down below. And yeah, that is the end of getting my draft sent off to beta readers. So I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.